think this is the third year that we were doing this here today, but before we start, let me just ask you a few questions. Did everybody enjoy what you did, and how did it all work out, and worked as a team, and all those things there? That's really what happens in business, is that you're, every day, many days, you're presented with these different challenges, and you have to decide, okay, how do I do things, and which way do I decide? And sometimes there's never a real clear answer, but that's what business is all about, is making decisions, and making decisions, what are you going to do, and how you're going to deal with stuff. And I'll tell you, we got involved with this a few years ago, and it's because I think that there's nothing more important in business than making great ethical decisions. I will tell you that I'm probably the luckiest guy you'll ever meet. I live a pretty cool life. I get to run a big business. I mean, it's not easy, but I'll just give you my week, and not to brag, but Tuesday I got to talk in front of about 70 people that was all about philanthropy and why people give and all those things there. And Wednesday I got to fly up to my college and get involved in judging a contest up there, and we have a scholarship under our name and get to have lunch with these kids that we give scholarships to. And today I get to meet you guys and do this whole thing, and we live in paradise. I mean, I grew up in Massachusetts, and I was there on Thursday, and it was a beautiful day. I was thinking, maybe, this isn't a bad place to live. And Friday morning comes, and it's raining and cold, and it's just still winter up there. I'm thinking, I like living down here. So we really, truly are very, very blessed to live here, and I'm a very lucky guy. I get to work with a lot of awesome people, and our business after 24 years has never grown as much as it grew last year. I don't know how many people know about our company, but StormSmart's been around for about 24 years. Today we employ about 200 people. In the past 4 different times, we were selected by Inc. magazine to be one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the United States. 4 different times. But last year, 2018, we grew more than we ever did before. We almost doubled in size, grew by 86% in 2018 than we did any other year. And so with that comes a lot of great things and some challenges. But I really, 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 truly believe that the reason we're so successful is because of how we make decisions and what we stand for. And it's really easy when you work for our company, other than putting up with me, it's easy to make decisions because you always make decisions the same way. You do what is best for the customer. You always try to exceed the customer's expectations. Always do things not because what makes the company the most money or any of those things, or what's easier. It's always about what does the customer think you should be doing. And that's how we do it. And that's how they make decisions all the time. And it's never about what's right or wrong or gray. We only do things the right way. And that makes life so easy, because then you don't have to worry about all the bad things. I truly, truly believe that when you do good things happen. And the opposite, when you do bad things happen. Who's got time for that? So you want to only do good things so that you can I can stand up in front of all you guys and talk and do all those things there. And that's how our company's grown. And we're one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. So there's got to be something about it. I'll tell you a little story. I've told this story a couple times now. For those of you who don't know us, we're in the hurricane protection business. And what happened was, years ago, 12, 13 years ago, I came up with the idea of using a fabric as a hurricane protection product. Prior to that, everybody used like these steel panels or plywood or something like that to protect their homes. And I was living on the East Coast when Hurricane Andrew hit, and everybody was using these crazy panels and wood, and I just knew there had to be a better way. And I just thought about it, and we eventually came up with the idea of using a fabric as a hurricane protection device. So much so that today, that fabric, or something like it, is the most well-used product for hurricane protection in Southwest Florida. But we started to grow, we started to develop it, and we were just starting to take off. And all of a sudden, one day, I got this package in the mail, and it's from a lawyer. And this company on the East Coast, it turned out this guy was a disbarred attorney from Canada, is who he was. And he went like, not that anybody doesn't like attorneys or anything, but he decided to claim that I stole his patent, which it wasn't even close to being true. And I could spend an hour with you and tell you how he came up with it, but we had to think. But what he did was he looked for ideas in companies. It's called patent jumping. Yeah. And he sees somebody has an idea, and they file a patent case against you. And I don't know, and I hope that nobody's had to deal with a patent case, but everybody kind of knows that lawyers are expensive. They cost a lot of money. Well, a patent attorney is very specialized, and they cost a whole lot of money. The attorney we hired, because you have to hire a great attorney, cost us $550 an hour to talk to them. So it was extremely expensive. And it went on, and patent cases aren't quick. It goes on for a long period of time. This case ended up lasting more than 2 years, and it ended up costing more than $2 million to defend us. And the worst part, I would think I was in court one day. The rest is all just paperwork, and they just try to paperwork you to death. And really, it turns out that the person who has the most money wins. It had nothing to do with, and sadly, a lot of laws are like, a lot of law cases are like that. It's not really who's right or who's wrong. It's who has the best attorney and who has the money to pay for the best attorney. And we were a small, struggling company. I didn't have that kind of money, and we were just really getting started. And every day, these bills keep coming in. We used to tell a kind of a story, a joke, was I would go to dinner on Friday night, and be driving to dinner with my wife, and all of a sudden my phone would ring. And it was my attorney. And I'd talk to him, and I thought that was kind of cool. Then after a while, I figured out he was driving to dinner, and he just figured out a way to bill me for extra money and run up his bill. Well, life went on, and this case just kept dragging on. Now I remember one time, I got this, it was during the week, and I got this package. It was very thick. And I opened it up, and it was his bill for the month, his company's bill for the month before. And it was $105,000 for 1 month's legal expenses. I didn't have anywhere near that kind of money. And at that time, there were about 67 people working for StormSmart, and I took their welfare really, really seriously. 67 families depended on me to keep my business going and keep paying them so they could keep their family going. And it was awful. It was like I was almost getting sick because I didn't know what was going to do. And I didn't have any more money. I couldn't keep paying these lawyers. And if you don't pay the lawyers, they don't help you. And then the other guy wins the case. And that was the whole strategy to start with. And it was just awful. I remember I was like almost sick from worrying, staying up all night trying to figure out how you could get over this thing. And really, there wasn't a lot of answers. So it wasn't a really good situation. But then I remember one day, I got up in the morning, get ready to go to work. I was watching the news. And there was this woman on TV who, she was a little more senior, and she was living in Florida. They had just moved to Florida, to Cape Coral. And she was there because her brother had gotten really ill. And she was taking care of her brother. And their medical expenses just kept getting more expensive and more expensive. And the story was about this, that she had run out of money too. So much so that they had shut the water off at her house. And they couldn't take a bath or brush their teeth or anything else. They didn't have any water. And I thought, how in the world, in today's world, living in paradise and how great I told you how the world is, how could somebody not have water? How could nobody not have enough money to pay their water bill so they could brush their teeth or take a shower? And I just thought that was wrong. So I decided that I would pay her water bill. So I got in touch with the TV station and figured out who she was and said, look, I don't want no TV cameras there or no anything's there, but I'll pay her water bill. And I remembered it was $278. So I went to her house that afternoon and said, hey, I'm going to pay your water bill. And it was extremely emotional. She was crying, but it really made me feel really, really nice. And she couldn't have been happier that now she had water in her house. So I said, that was cool. And so I just kind of felt good about the day. So later that night, I went to dinner, and all of a sudden my phone rings. And there's my lawyer trying to run up his bill a little bit higher. And so we were having dinner. He said, "Hey Brian, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." He said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I didn't want to tell you about this, but about 2 weeks ago, I started fighting with your insurance company. And it turns out one of the charges on this patent case, this 2-year-old patent case that had cost us over $2 million, was for false advertising. He was claiming we took some of his pictures and used them on our website." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, it turns out your insurance company will cover those charges. And because we can't decide what is part of what, they've agreed to cover all your past and future legal expenses." So all of a sudden, I was thrown this lifeline, and I was getting back all this money that I had paid to my attorneys and everything else, and I didn't have to worry about my legal bill anymore going forward, which was his whole strategy. It was never about him really developing this stuff, but he was just trying to choke us off. So in the end, all my bills were paid, and I didn't have any worry about the legal expenses anymore. Now, I'm not going to tell you, and I'm going to sit here and say that 1 and 1 equals 2, that if I hadn't helped that woman in the beginning of the day, and my legal bills wouldn't have happened, but I'm not willing to bet it doesn't. So that's what I learned about doing the right thing, about helping people out. And by paying her water bill, I believe a higher power made my legal expenses go away. And doing the right thing made us prevail in our business. And that's what taught me to always try to help other people out, to always keep doing good things, and then good things happen. And I'm telling you, my life has been blessed by us continuing to do those good things, making the right decisions, helping people out. I was at an event here, I think it was earlier this week or last week, and I told the students there that it was this: when you're in business, there's a lot of reasons to go in business, but I'll share with you the one that you shouldn't do is to make a lot of money. Making a lot of money is too small of a reason to be in business for your whole life. But if you're in business because you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to solve a problem, you're trying to help people out, I bet you your business will be successful. I'm willing to promise you your business will be successful. The money will take care of itself, but you gotta be in business for the right purpose. At StormSmart, we had a saying. It was sort of like this. It was, if you take care of your customers, your business will take care of you. That's how we got started. Take care of your customers, and your business will take care of you. As we evolved and got bigger, and today I have over 200 people, we have a different saying. It says, you take care of your employees will take care of your customers, and your business will take care of you. And if you live your life that way, I think you'll see things will work out well. I congratulate you for getting where you are today and applaud you for being part of a program like this. The whole concept of teaching and practicing great business ethics will really, really help you on your way to success. There's probably nothing more important than just doing the right thing and treating people the way you want to be treated. In my life, it's made us to be extremely successful and made my life to be pretty cool. I can only recommend it to all of you and wish you good luck. I'm glad you're here today. I hope you all win. Thank you.